This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. Plan. That's Minister of National Security Marvin Dames' response to possible exemptions for vaccinated persons, with Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis recently suggesting that fully vaccinated people may soon be able to experience a number of expanded benefits, including an extension to the 10 p.m. curfew. There has been speculation about how all this might work. Minister Dames, just before the weekly cabinet meeting, told reporters that law enforcement agencies will take a look at how those proposed expanded benefits will be rolled out and will plan accordingly.
Anytime an action is taken, and in this case by the competent authority, we have to plan around it. And these agencies, like the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Defense Force, planning is what they do. And so they have to adjust accordingly. And I have no doubt that they are capable of doing that.
Taking into account a 10 p.m. curfew that is in place for most islands, as to how those fully vaccinated people will be policed or monitored if they are out beyond that time, the minister says that is not an issue. However, he says Bahamians should be disciplined.
I mean, if you're fully vaccinated, then you should have something in your possession saying that you're fully vaccinated. Our RBPF and RBDF are very good at that. And we have the aid of technology as well to assist. And so I'm not too concerned about that. But at the end of the day, you know, in all of this, what it requires is discipline on behalf of the Bahamian people, right? That certainly will go a long way in helping to mitigate any issues in relations to any decision that is forthcoming.
Asked if there is concerns about persons producing fake vaccination cards, the minister says police have been doing a great job in cracking down on those who produced false travel visas in the past, and says that officers are there to ensure that Bahamians abide by the law. Minister Dames also responded to the opposition, suggesting that the possible exemptions will cause confusion.
First and foremost, I mean, the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Defense Force, you know, they have been able to adapt to these changing times, right? So I don't expect that anything will be different, you know. I mean, once the competent authority rolls out new emergency orders or new laws are enacted, the police and those agencies responsible have to adjust. And this is nothing new, right? This is all a part of governance. And I have every confidence that the Commissioner and his team, Commodore and his team, would be ready for anything.
During its contribution to the budget debate, the minister revealed that 523 people attempted to travel to other family islands without proper documents or fake COVID tests and were denied by COVID-19 ambassadors at various checkpoints. An issue with funding's the reason behind the delay in a $1.8 million community center and hurricane shelter in central Abaco. This coming from Minister of State for Disaster Preparedness, Management and Reconstruction, Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe, just ahead of the weekly cabinet meeting.
There's a delay in that, not necessarily because of the fact that it's not going to be completed. We are hoping that it is done very shortly. I know that there's a concern in Abaco also with regards to some other housing issues. So what we're doing is we're sitting at the table still. We're trying to figure out how best to move forward.
Now, the groundbreaking ceremony for that building was last December, and it was expected to be completed by May of this year. She says work has started on the building, adding that she hopes that the building is done by the end of summer.
And at the moment, we're trying to get to the best practice to assist those residents of Abaco in particular, because housing is an issue. And we're also appealing to the private sector and individuals who may want to go into Abaco to build rental units to do this. As you would have noted, the DRA is now in works of trying to introduce a 100-unit rental unit specifically for our government workers in that area too, because essential services is also very integral to the development of Abaco.
In January 2020, a Hurricane Dorian private sector pledging conference was held. The minister says that she couldn't speak to it at this time. You're watching Jcn News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.